Okay, another spot along the kai, along the Kahakai, the beachfront, is by Keonekahakaha, between Keonekahakaha and Palikai. And in between there are a lot of pa that kind of stretch out to where if you went a few feet off of the pa, it would be very, very deep water. But onto the pa was a certain place as you drove, if you went to Keonekahakaha Beach today, would be on the left side of where you drive into the park. So on that left side, it also was a good place to get vana. And so the vana used to be plentiful there, and it used to be momona, it used to be fat. So this fat vana would be there, and normally those that dive or dove for vana were normally the kane that would do that. However, the wahine was the one that carried a bag, or stayed with what we call the cage, the basket, or when the kane came up, when the fishermen came up, they would put the vana into this basket until it was full, and then the women who held the basket, or young children, teenage children, would take then the cage or the basket to the shore or to the beach side, and there find a place where it was safe away from children, and they would shake the basket to get all of the thorns off, or all of the spikes. So when they cleaned the vana, then the vana was ready to open. In order to clean it more and get the vana out, it was then ready for the women to take the vana, clean the vana, take the vana, and put it into normally receptacles or jars or plastic containers would hold the vana. And the vana you had to do very quickly, because the portion of the vana that you would eat is the fat portion, the momona portion. And if you let it sit in the sun, it would melt. So you wouldn't have the vana to eat. You could, probably slurp up the syrupy part, but it would melt. And so we used to hurry up and clean the vana and put it into the jars and things. But because it was so ono and down the beach, a lot went into two receptacles. One the jars and one into our tummies, into our stomachs. It was so ono. So every time the men folks would say, "Oh, what happened to all the vana? I know we, cleaned a lot more. Got a lot more than this." And we would say, "Yeah, but it wasn't too momona. It wasn't too fat for that." And that's the joy of getting vana. And we got vana always as a group in Nahui, and that you went down with all the ones that you're going to go and get vana with. And the women, when they were cleaning, would talk story and clean and eat. And it was an enjoyable time for that.